Hi friends, in this IBM Sterling B2B Integrator tutorial, we will learn about the file system adapter. We will basically see what are the adapter services in Sterling B2B, why do we use adapter services, and then we will create a file system adapter and we will also test how file system adapter works. Okay, so before we go to file system adapter, we should understand what is the adapter services. Adapter service in Sterling B2B is used for to connect external systems. So as we know, Sterling B2B is used as a gateway to all the external systems for any enterprise. So let's assume this is my enterprise, and within my enterprise I have different system and services, and here I have Sterling B2B. So Sterling B2B will basically, if any trading partner will connect to the enterprise, all the requests will go through the B2B gateway. Okay, now there could be many tools will be there, like some CBEL systems, CBEL. Sometime some systems are keeping some invoice or payment information in some file. So let's say I have some FTP server. Okay, then sometime from B2B I want to send some email. Okay, so any external system, if B2B wants to connect, so to connect that external system we need to create a adapter service. So adapter service are used to connect any external system. Okay, it could be, this system could be a FTP server. Okay, it could be a file system. Suppose sometime I need to B2B need to pick a file from a file system or to write a file into a file system. Sometime it have to send some emails. So email could be any type. It could be a reading an email, or it could be a sending email. Okay, so or sometime we need to connect with some external system. Suppose the request is coming from some CBEL based system, some SAP or PeopleSoft. Okay, or sometimes Sterling might have to save some record to database. So rather than writing the Java code to connect these systems, what B2B does, B2B has some uh, adapter services. We just need to configure these adapter services and automatically Sterling B2B will connect to external system. Okay, so this connection uh, so this connection happens using some adapter service. Okay, now in our tutorial we are going to create one file system adapter. So as the name itself says, file system adapter, it means we are going to read file from some directory, and also we will see how suppose this adapter will support both read and write operation in some directory. So we will see how to create this adapter. This is my B2B dashboard. The first thing what I will do, I will just make sure what are those directories from where I have to read a file, and what are those directory where I have to write file. So I will go to directory. So this is my Sterling client system. where I am accessing Sterling server, and Sterling server is deployed in a Linux system, and I will connect to that Linux system using this bin scp. So I will just, so I just connected to the my Sterling server, and I'm going to user directory, and in the user directory inside local, okay, or I'm going to create two folders, new directory, and I'm going to have a read file, okay, and then another folder as the write file, okay. So I'm going to put a file in the read file directory, and a B2B adapter service will read file from this directory, and then after that I'm also going to demonstrate the write operation also. So B2B adapter will write the file in the write file directory, okay. So let me just change the rename this file, fine, okay, done. So let me create one adapter service. So go to deployment, services, and configuration. All sort of adapter service or external service configuration we do from here, okay. So the first thing is create a new service, and here you will select, so just give over here file system adapter, save it, and here you need to configure means to Sterling server you need to tell from which directory you have to read file, and after reading, if the writing is needed, to which directory we have to write this file. So let me just write here one underscore, okay. So here we need to tell what is the collection folder, means from where I am going to read file. So I need to give this path user local and read file, okay. If I want to put some filter in a specific file name, so I have to give some filter over here. I'm not going to use any filter. Collect files from subfolders within and including the collection folder. So it means, suppose if within read file I do have any subfolder, so whether I have to read file within the subfolder or not, okay. So I'm just making this as a no, I do not want to read any file from any subfolder. Use the absolute file path name for the document name, no, any file, I'm just going to put a file, and the same file has to be read. Start a business process once the file are collected. I do not want to start any business process when the file is collected. Next, this is the another important property we need to set, that is the extraction folder. Means after reading the file, if you want to write file in some directory, which directory you want to write file, okay. So here I want to write in the write file, so just give fine, okay. Use the original file name as the extracted file name, okay. So I'm not going to change the name, okay. So let it be the default property. Next, here I can see all the property in consolidated form. If I want to change, I can go back and change those property, but I'm fine with that, so just click on finish. So your file a system adapter service is configured. If you want to search, you can just type over here your service name, and you can see. Okay, now this file system adapter service we need to use inside some business process. Okay, so we will create a business process where I could use this service. So first go inside the GPM. Okay, so I will create a new service and I'm saving as one underscore file system adapter process. Okay, so first let's have the start activity, end activity, and I'm going all these activities to be sequentially started. So sequence start and sequence end activity. Okay, and then I have to use adapter. So go to extension and select all services. Okay, so I'm going to read in this business process file from the read file directory. So I have to drag and drop file system adapter service. Okay, so it should be somewhere here. Okay, just drag and drop. Okay, so what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to read file from one directory, and after that I'm going to write the same file in some other directory. Okay, so the way the file system adapter service work, you can configure one service as a read operation or as a write operation. Okay, so from this file system adapter I'm going to read, and I'm going to use another file system adapter which I'm going to use as a write. Okay, so just connect all these. Okay, fine. Here you need to set the configurable service which we have just created. So click over here and go to configuration, and here select as a one underscore file system adapter. And if you see carefully the services which you have configured, those details you can see over here. Like collection folder is this directory, from the here it is going to read. Okay, extraction folder to this directory. Okay, so these are the properties. If we want, we can set the main property which we need to set, that is the action. Okay, here you will show the file system adapter is going to work as a collector or as a extractor. So this one going to work as a collector, and this one, the second one, I chose the same, and this one is going to work as a extractor. Okay, I can give some different name also here. Okay, a read file service. Okay, and here I am just going to write as a write file service. Okay, fine, save this. Okay, and validate. There's no error, there's no configuration error, so I'm done. So what we did till now, the first thing what I did, I created an instance of file system adapter service where I gave the path from where I'm going to read file. Okay, and the path where I'm going to write file. After that I came to GPM, I created a process. Okay, and in the process I just used file system adapter service, and I gave the same configuration what I created using the dashboard. Okay, one service I made as a read operation, another service I made as a write operation. I'm fine with that. Our process is completed. Now the next thing is I need to deploy this process. So go to source manager, process add, give some name over here, one underscore file system adapter. Next, okay, my documents, and first one, give some description. Okay, next, you can have the default properties over here. Next and finish. Okay, now the process is deployed successfully. If you want to check it, just come over here and search the process, one underscore file. You can see your process. Okay, in normal scenario, how in normal use cases, what will happen, normally the file will be placed in some directory, and from the BP side we have to run a process, and when the process will run, the file will be collected from the directory. Sometimes such processes will be automatically started, like as soon as the file will come to this directory, read file directory, okay, automatically the file will be picked up, okay, and it and internally it will start doing some operation. Okay, sometime we need to manually start the process. So as in this scenario, I am going to manually start the process and test whether the file is successfully getting read or not, and successfully getting written in the directory. Okay, this automatically starting we will see in another tutorial. Okay, so we already know how to test the business process from dashboard. Click on the execution manager and click on the execute. Okay, before that I will just place one file over here, so that for the testing purpose in the read file directory. So I'm going to put a file in the read file directory, and this is a XML file. Okay, so again I'm just make sure the read and write permissions are here, execute permission, so that a system can read this file. Okay, so now again come over here. So the file is there in the read file directory, and let's run this process. I do not have any input file to read, so just directly click on the go button, and if you see, I can see the trail, like first one underscore file system adapter service executed successfully, status is success, so it read successfully that file. And if you want to see the status report, okay, so it will come over here. Okay, the file is collected successfully. Okay, now the file data you can see in the document. Okay, so this is the XML file which I put. Okay, it's some sample XML file. Okay, so it has some data over here. Okay, and if you want to see the instance data, that also in the process data you can see the reference of the XML file which it has read. Okay, now another file system adapter service is getting executed, so you can see the status report. It says it is successfully written to this directory. Okay, and same document and the instance data, again you will see the same instance data. So let me see in through WinSCP, after successfully read, the file is deleted from the read file directory, and I should see the file in the write file directory. Refresh, and you can see the file is in the write file directory. So through this tutorial we understood how to create an adapter service. We just created a file system adapter service. In the same way, we can create another adapter services, like say email adapter service or JDBC adapter service or FTP services. We need to configure the service from here, and in the business process, wherever you want to use, you can directly drag and drop the service from the palette and select the configuration what you have created. Okay, thank you. And if you are looking for any training related to Sterling, please write down an email to training.infinitedreams@gmail.com. Thank you.